5 pieces of wisdom I ignored at 40 that I finally understand at 54. Not because I didn't hear them, not because nobody told me. People told me at 40, at 30, throughout my life. Parents told me, friends told me, people who cared about me tried to share wisdom, tried to help me avoid mistakes, tried to teach me what they'd learned, and I ignored them, dismissed them, thought I knew better, thought their wisdom didn't apply to me, thought I was different, thought I was smarter. I was wrong, they were right. And now, at 54, I finally understand, finally see the truth in what they were saying, finally recognize the wisdom I ignored. Too late to avoid the mistakes, but not too late to learn. Not too late to change, not too late to live differently going forward. If you've ever ignored wisdom you later realized was true, comment wisdom below. I'm recording this because maybe you're 40 now. Maybe you're hearing the same wisdom I heard and ignored. Maybe you're dismissing it the way I dismissed it. Maybe you think you know better. Maybe you think it doesn't apply to you. Maybe you're making the same mistake I made, ignoring wisdom that could save you from pain, from regret, from wasting years learning what you could have understood if you'd just listened. I'm telling you what I ignored, what I finally understand, what I wish I'd believed at 40, not so you'll pity me, so you'll listen. So you won't waste 14 years learning what I'm about to tell you. So you'll trust the wisdom now instead of learning it through pain later. These 5 pieces of wisdom, I heard them at 40, I ignored them at 40, I understand them at 54. The understanding came through experience, through pain, through mistakes, through consequences, through living long enough to see that the wisdom was true, was accurate, was trying to save me from exactly what happened. But understanding came too late to avoid the mistakes, too late to prevent the pain, too late to live those 14 years differently. I can only live differently going forward, can only share what I learned, can only hope someone younger hears and believes and doesn't waste years the way I did. Wisdom 1. Being vulnerable with people creates connection, not rejection. At 40, people told me, be vulnerable. Open up. Let people see you, real you, not performed you, not strong you, not successful you, real you, with weaknesses, with struggles, with uncertainty, with imperfection. Be vulnerable. It creates connection, it creates intimacy, it creates real relationships. People connect with vulnerability, not with perfection. At 40, I ignored this. I thought vulnerability is weakness. Showing weakness makes people lose respect. Showing struggle makes people doubt you. Showing uncertainty makes people not trust you. Showing imperfection makes people not value you. I need to be strong, need to be certain, need to be capable, need to show competence, need to never show weakness. That's how you maintain respect. That's how you maintain authority. That's how you maintain value. Show strength. Hide vulnerability. Never let people see weakness. I was wrong. Completely wrong. Maintaining strength while hiding vulnerability doesn't create respect. Creates distance. Creates performance. Creates relationship with facade, not with person. Creates people respecting image, not knowing person. Creates isolation. Creates loneliness. Creates surface relationships that don't go deep because you never let anyone see deep. You perform. You present strong version. You hide vulnerable reality. And people relate to performance, not to you. At 54, I understand. Being vulnerable creates connection. Real connection. Deep connection. Connection with actual person, not with performance. When you show vulnerability, when you admit weakness, when you share struggle, when you express uncertainty, when you reveal imperfection, people connect, not because they lose respect, because they see human, because they recognize shared experience, because they feel safe to be vulnerable too, because vulnerability invites vulnerability, because realness creates realness, because connection happens between real people, not between performances. I spent years performing strength, hiding vulnerability, never showing weakness, never admitting struggle, never expressing uncertainty, always presenting capable, competent, strong version. And I created distance, created isolation, created relationships with facade, created people knowing performance, not knowing me, created loneliness despite being surrounded by people, because nobody knew real me, because I never showed real me, because I performed instead of being vulnerable. Now I understand. Vulnerability is courage, not weakness. Opening up is strength, not failure. Letting people see real you, with struggles and uncertainties and imperfections, that creates connection, that creates intimacy, that creates real relationships, that creates being known, being seen, being connected. I wish I'd understood this at 40, wish I'd been vulnerable, wish I'd opened up, wish I'd let people see real me, would have created connection I didn't have, would have prevented isolation I experienced, would have created relationships that were real instead of surface. Wisdom 2. Forgiveness frees you, not them. Holding grudges hurts you. At 40, people told me, forgive, let go of grudges, release resentment, stop holding anger. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. Holding grudges hurts you, not them. Carrying resentment poisons you, not them. Refusing to forgive imprisons you, not them. Forgive, not because they deserve it, because you deserve freedom, because carrying grudges is burden you don't need to carry, because forgiveness releases you. At 40, I ignored this. I thought, forgiving means letting them win, means saying what they did was okay, means giving up being right, means weakness. I'm justified in my anger, justified in my grudge, justified in not forgiving. They wronged me, they hurt me, they deserve my anger, I deserve to be angry. Forgiving would be letting them off, would be accepting what they did, would be weak. I'm not forgiving, I'm holding the grudge, I'm staying angry, I'm right to be angry. I was wrong. Holding grudges doesn't hurt them, hurts me. They might not even know I'm holding grudge, might not care, might have forgotten, might be living their lives unburdened while I carry the weight, while I hold the anger, while I nurture the resentment, while I refuse to forgive. I'm the one carrying burden. I'm the one poisoned by resentment. I'm the one imprisoned by unforgiveness. They're free. I'm trapped. Holding grudge doesn't hurt them, hurts me. At 54, I understand. Forgiveness is gift to yourself, is freedom, is release, is putting down burden you've been carrying, is letting go of poison you've been drinking, is walking out of prison you've been living in. Forgiveness isn't about them, isn't about whether they deserve it, isn't about saying what they did was okay, is about you, about your freedom, about your peace, about your release from burden, about choosing to stop hurting yourself by holding grudge that only hurts you. I spent years holding grudges, carrying resentment, refusing to forgive, nurturing anger, holding tight to being right. And it hurt me, not them, me. I carried weight, I drank poison. I lived in prison, while they, the people I held grudges against, they were free, unburdened, living their lives, not affected by my unforgiveness, not hurt by my grudges, not imprisoned by my resentment, just me. Hurting myself, burdening myself, imprisoning myself through holding grudges that only hurt me. Now I understand. Forgiveness releases you, puts down weight, stops drinking poison, opens prison door, frees you, not them, you. They might not deserve forgiveness, might not have apologized, might not have changed, might not even know you're forgiving them. Doesn't matter. You're not forgiving for them, you're forgiving for you, for your freedom, for your peace, for your release. I wish I'd understood this at 40, wish I'd forgiven, wish I'd let go of grudges, would have freed myself years earlier, would have stopped hurting myself, would have lived in freedom instead of prison of unforgiveness. Wisdom 3. Listening to people is more important than giving them advice. At 40, people told me, listen more, talk less. When people share problems, don't immediately give advice. Don't fix, don't solve, don't tell them what to do. Just listen. Actually listen. Be present. Hear them. Understand them. Let them feel heard. That's what people need. Not advice, not solutions, not fixing. Listening, being heard, being understood. At 40, I ignored this. I thought, if someone tells me a problem, they want solution, want advice, want me to fix it. That's helpful. That's valuable. That's what they need. So I listen just enough to understand problem, then I give solution. Give advice. Tell them what to do. Tell them how to fix it. That's helpful. That's being useful. That's giving them what they need. Listening without solving is pointless. They want solutions, not just listening. I was wrong. Most people sharing problems aren't asking for solutions, aren't asking for advice, aren't asking to be fixed. They're asking to be heard, to be understood, to have someone present with them in their struggle, to feel less alone, to process out loud, to be seen, jumping to solutions, giving advice they didn't ask for, telling them what to do, trying to fix their problem. That doesn't help. That makes them feel unheard, makes them feel like you weren't listening, makes them feel like you're more interested in solving than in understanding, makes them regret sharing. At 54, I understand. Listening, real listening, full presence, genuine attention, being with someone in their struggle without trying to fix it, that's what people need. That's what creates connection. That's what helps. Not advice, not solutions, not fixing, being heard, being understood, being less alone, having someone fully present, someone who cares enough to listen without agenda, who hears without jumping to solve, who understands without needing to fix. That's what helps. That's what people need. I spent years giving advice nobody asked for, solving problems people didn't want solved, fixing things people wanted to process, not fix, jumping to solutions instead of listening, being helpful in ways that weren't helpful. And people stopped sharing with me, stopped opening up, stopped bringing me problems because they knew I'd jump to solving instead of listening, knew I'd give advice instead of presence, knew I'd fix instead of understand. So they stopped sharing, and I lost opportunity to connect, lost opportunity to be there for people, lost opportunity to help in a way that actually helps. Now I understand, listening is help, real help, deep help, the help most people actually need. Just being there, being present, hearing without agenda, understanding without needing to fix, letting people feel heard, feel understood, feel less alone. That's gift. That's valuable. That's what creates connection and actually helps. I wish I'd understood this at 40. Wish I'd listened more. Wish I'd fixed less. Would have created better relationships. Would have actually helped people. Would have been person people wanted to share with instead of person people avoided sharing with. Wisdom 4. Your parents were right about most things. You were too proud to admit it. At 40, people told me, your parents knew what they were talking about. That advice they gave you, those values they taught you, those priorities they emphasized, they were right. You thought they were old-fashioned, thought they didn't understand modern world, thought their wisdom was outdated. They weren't wrong. You were wrong. Listen to your parents. Believe them. They know things you don't know yet. At 40, I ignored this. I thought, my parents don't understand. They're from different generation, different time, different world. Their advice doesn't apply anymore. Their values are outdated. Their priorities are old-fashioned. I know better. I understand modern world in ways they don't. I can see things they can't see. Their wisdom is well-meaning but irrelevant. I respect them, but I don't need their advice. I know what I'm doing. I understand things they don't understand. I was wrong. Arrogantly, stupidly wrong. My parents understood fundamental truths that don't change with generations. Don't become outdated. Don't stop being true just because world changes. They understood what matters, what creates good life, what builds happiness, what prevents regret. They tried to tell me, tried to share wisdom, tried to help me avoid mistakes they'd seen or made, and I dismissed them. Thought I knew better, thought their wisdom was irrelevant. Spent years learning through pain what they tried to teach me through words. At 54, I understand. My parents were right. About most things. About what matters. About priorities. About values. About how to live. About what creates good life. They weren't old-fashioned. They weren't outdated. They weren't irrelevant. They were wise. They understood. They tried to share understanding. And I was too proud to listen, too arrogant to believe them, too convinced I knew better to accept their wisdom. I was fool, they were wise. And now I understand what they were trying to tell me. Now that it's too late to live those years differently. Now that I learned through consequences instead of through believing them. My mother told me relationships matter more than achievement. She was right. My father told me to be present for my children. He was right. They told me about priorities, about values, about what creates meaning, about what prevents regret. They were right about all of it, and I ignored them, thought they didn't understand, thought I knew better, spent decades proving them right while refusing to believe them. Now I understand. Parents who care about you are trying to give you wisdom, trying to help you avoid pain, trying to share understanding that comes from living longer, from making mistakes, from learning what matters. They're not trying to control you, not trying to limit you, not being old-fashioned. They're being wise. And being too proud to listen, being too arrogant to believe them. That's not independence. That's foolishness. That's choosing to learn through pain instead of learning through listening. I wish I'd understood this at 40. Wish I'd listened to my parents. Wish I'd believed them, would have avoided mistakes, would have lived better, would have learned through wisdom instead of through pain. Wisdom 5, saying I love you and I'm proud of you is never too much. At 40, people told me, tell people you love them, tell your children you're proud of them, say it often, say it clearly, say it repeatedly. You can't say I love you too much. You can't say I'm proud of you too much. People need to hear it. Children need to hear it. Say it, often, clearly, without reservation. Those words matter. Those words create security. Those words build foundation. Say them. At 40, I ignored this. I thought, they know I love them. I don't need to say it constantly. Saying I love you all the time makes it meaningless, makes it lose impact. Better to say it rarely but meaningfully. Better to show love through actions than to say it repeatedly. They know I'm proud of them. I don't need to say it all the time. Saying it constantly would be excessive, would be too much, would lose meaning. They know I don't need to say it repeatedly. I was wrong, catastrophically wrong. People don't know unless you tell them. Children don't know unless they hear it. Knowing intellectually and feeling certain are different things. You can assume people know you love them while they doubt you love them. Can assume children know you're proud while they wonder if they're good enough. Assumptions aren't certainty. Silence isn't communication. Not saying it doesn't preserve meaning, creates doubt, creates uncertainty, creates questioning whether love exists, whether pride is real, whether they matter. Share this if you ignored wisdom you later realized was true. Comment if you're finally understanding something you ignored when you were younger. Subscribe for more truth about what we learned too late and wish we'd understood sooner.